What's up, everybody? It's Troy Cartwright. Welcome back to another episode of 10-Year Town. Before we get started, do me a quick favor and make sure you're subscribed to the pod on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. We appreciate you. Thanks. Today's guest is Lee Brice. You know Lee from songs like One of Them Girls, Rumor, and Memory I Don't Mess With. He just dropped a brand new single called Killed the Man, which I happened to co-write, and we talk about that and much, much more. I really enjoyed this conversation with Lee, and I know you guys will too. So without further ado, here he is, Lee Brice. I feel like one of the things I'm always like, I am constantly reiterating to my wife, I'll say, is
reiterating.
You know, I write at 11.
Yeah, I mean,
and I got a lot of free time. You know, I mean, I don't have a lot of free time. I have a lot of time that is flexible.
Yeah, flexible, but
from
like
11 to 3.
Speaking of this whole 11 o'clock thing that y'all are doing now,
you don't like it?
Blows my mind.
Too late?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was writing 3 times a day. You start at 1 at 9, you get one, you're done at 12, you do another one at 1, then you do another one at 5. I'm like, you don't even start till 11? I was like, so all my friends or whoever I bring over, I'm like, if you want to write with me, we're going to start at the farm, start at 9 a.m. Like, be here at 8:45.
What time you wake up?
I can take the kids to school, dude.
Yeah,
like I did this morning. I'm up like 11 o'clock. That's half the day.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
we don't have kids yet, so
buddy,
I wake up.
You'll be sitting around once you have if you have some kids. Okay, you'll be like, okay, so I've been up since 6. What are y'all doing? What do you mean 11 o'clock? Nah, dude, let's start at 8. You know.
Yesterday I woke up at like 6:30. Just mind was going.
Oh
yeah,
like, that happened.
I laid in bed for like 45 minutes and was like, all right, it's just I'm getting up.
I'm getting up.
And I did. I had that thing at like.
You're calling people at like 8, and they're like, "Why are you calling me at 8 o'clock?"
Yeah, dude. So what do you feel like the start time used to be 9 or 10?
It used to be 9, and like, but you know, depending, but 10 was probably like the big standard. But a lot of people, the older school people that I wrote with, were more like 9 or 9:30, like start time. You know what I mean? And so then I leave town, right? I'm gone on the road for 15 years, and I come back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so we're going to start like 11:30." I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
no,
that's crazy."
I'm like, "I'll just write by myself then."
Yeah. Well, I do always start this thing off with the same question, which sort of plays into what you just said, but which is, how long have you been in town?
Oh, well, 2001. So what year is it?
25. So 24 years.
I mean, that's a pretty old person. I mean, even if you were just 24 and a half
you
years
moved
old.
here when you were 7.
Yeah. I was 21. So it's easy for me to keep up with. This is the only thing with like the years, because I was 21 in 2001.
So you can do the math pretty easy.
Yeah, it doesn't like get too confusing, you know.
Yeah. I was born in
79 is when I was born.
I was born in 90.
Oh, so then you're like a 10-year thing too.
Yeah, it's easy to remember.
So yeah, I was 21 and came here in 2001.
Where from?
From South Carolina. I was out of Clemson. You know, I was playing football at Clemson, and I really just came for, instead of going like to the beach for spring break at Clemson, you know, or to where everybody went to go party or whatever. I said I want to go visit Nashville, you know. And obviously I've been writing songs since I was a baby, you know.
Yeah.
So you know what, I'm going to go. So just one of my best friend in the whole world, he said, well, let's go. So we got in his truck, and we had honestly not even enough money to put gas in the truck just to come visit.
Yeah.
But I had a friend who let us just stay like on her couch that was living up here, and I came up for spring break, and I mean, it's a long story, but basically came up here and never left. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely where I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you caught the bug pretty immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild how it all happened. I mean, to this
tell
day.
me about it.
Well, I mean, you know, I came up for spring break, and this girl named Mary Alice was working at a management company.
Okay.
Nancy Russell, and she was managing Alan Jackson. And Mary Alice was like kind of like the assistant sort of desk, sort of, you know, just kind of a small management company.
Yeah.
And she was a family member of a friend that was, you know, in Sumter where I was growing up. And
okay.
It was like, hey, you need to, for Christmas Day, like you need to come. My cousin Mary Alice is going to be here at our house, and I took this girl on a date, and she's like, well, you got to come meet my friend Mary Alice. And so I came over Christmas Day, like, and played the songs in front of her whole, like, she had like the extended family. It was the most awkward thing in the whole world. But Mary Alice was like, yeah, come visit whenever you want, you know. And so spring break, I said, hey, Mary Alice, I'm kind of thinking about visiting, and, you know, and she said, come on, you could just stay at our, so she was staying with 3 other girls, actually. They were in college, but one of the girls was Reba McEntire's niece, Autumn.
Yeah.
And she was a writer, and she was writing for Still Working Music. And Lisa Hensley was she was the publisher there. She was running the company, and I was sitting on the couch. You know, we came up. I told you we didn't have enough money to even get to Nashville, me and Chris. And but we woke up, and we were kind of driving around town with, you know, they let me into the Ryman. We had no money, like, at all, and we went to go to Ryman to visit and like tour the Ryman.
Yeah.
And the old lady was like, well, I mean, you know, that'll be $25. And we were like, well, I don't have $25. And she's like, well, can you sing? I said, well, I mean, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to. Well, all right. So she let us in for free and did us a whole tour of the Ryman. Wow. When first day I visited, ever came into Nashville.
Yeah.
And she's all right now. So once I got up in this, like, on the stage in the circle, she's like, all right now, well, this is where you're going to pay for your tour.
Yeah.
Sing me a song. There's a guitar sitting up on the thing. They have that, you know, you visit the Ryman and see the whole tour. And so I picked up a guitar and I sang her a song. She said, well, you can sing. And so we went back, and so we stayed the night so that afternoon, I was on the couch back at Mary Alice's, like, their place they were staying at. And this girl came in who I had not met yet. And she's like, who are you? You know, I'm sitting on the couch, and I was playing a song. I was in the middle of just playing for myself, playing. And she's like, who are you? I was like, I'm Lee. I'm Mary Alice's friend. What was that you were playing? I was like, well, a song I wrote. You wrote that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, play it again. And then she's like, well, play me another one. She said, who are you again? I said, I'm just a friend, you know, visiting. So after I got done playing a couple of songs, she says, you got to meet my publisher tomorrow.
Wow. And
lo and behold, next day, like 3 p.m., I went in with my guitar and walked into this publishing company in the Roy Orbison building, you know, Still Working Music. And I had like a 15-minute meeting scheduled with Lisa Hensley at the time. And I played like a song, and she just like took her phone off the hook, and she said, play me more. And I played for like an hour. Yeah. And she says, you have to meet, you know, my fiance. You have to meet him tonight, like today. Yeah. And so I went to back then it was the little Best Western, and they had they had songwriting rounds like in the little lounge, you know, all the time, right across from where Tin Roof is still up to Mummery, but, you know, there's now buildings and stuff. Yeah. But it was like the place, and I walked in to meet Doug Johnson, and he was over there watching this round, and I had never seen a round before, a songwriting round. Never even knew it existed. But either way, my mind was blown. I'm going, okay, I'm going to go back home now. You know what I mean?
You felt like they were
I was like
so good.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I was
it's
like,
intimidating.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave now. And then I met Doug, and all we did was just chat for a few that night. And he says, well, meet me in the morning. Next morning I show up. He had a cup of coffee, and the old Giant Records had just shut down.
Okay.
And so there was this empty building right behind Curb Records, actually, where I'm at, where I've been for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know? And but this was Giant Records, and he had just, you know, the label had just shut down, and he was kind of in transition, but he was still in his office, and there was boxes everywhere, and he just had his desk and a coffee cup. That's all he had.
Yeah.
I walked in, and that morning, and again, he says, hey, well, come on in. Let me play you a song I wrote yesterday. And he plays me like 3 Wooden Crosses. God. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up and go now. You know? He said, no, play me a song. So I played him a song for the first time, you know?
Yeah.
And I played him like 2 songs, and he stopped, and he said, and this is on my spring break.
Yeah.
This is a day and a half in, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I don't know if your daddy and your mama would be happy with me for telling you this, but I'm telling you right now, you need to be here right now. And I mean like right now. In fact, because he knew I still had a year left in college.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just telling you, this is where you're supposed to be. And as long as you're here, if you'll have me, I will be in your corner. I will take you wherever I go. Wow. It was just like that. It was like, I mean, he was going to another label. He was going to find, you know, he had run labels. He's been A&R. He's a humongous songwriter. He's a big, humongous producer, you know, all the things. And then it was just like, I was like, oh, well, that was easy, you know. Come to find out, it's not easy after that, you know.
Yeah.
The 10-year town thing.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So did you move here right away, or did you?
So I went back. You know, went back to Clemson, and I mean, this was spring break, so it wasn't but a month or so. Yeah. After that, I was like, "Yes, so I'm gone." Yeah, and I just took off, and I literally just came here, lived in a friend of a friend's apartment when they weren't there. Yeah, you know.
Writing songs
for the summer, and wrote songs with Doug Johnson all summer long. Every morning we'd sit there and write songs. And then him and Lisa got me with some people like Kent Blasey and Kim Williams and some of the Garth. They knew I was a big humongous Garth fan, you know. And so all those folks, I got to write with them. And I'm like, you know, and I've been writing since I was 10, but I was writing alone. So co-writing is a whole, obviously, you know, it's a whole different thing once you learn what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I basically, when I came here for spring break, I kind of never left, because even when I got back to Clemson, I was only there for not very long. And I was like, I just disappeared one day, and all my friends at Clemson were like, hey, yo, you weren't at class like the last couple of days. Where are you?
Yeah.
You know? I was like, oh, dude, I'm in Nashville. I've already moved in up here. I mean, I packed my Ranger full to the top, like as much as a Ford Ranger can possibly put in it, and on the back of it with tarps like tied down, you know. Wow.
That's amazing. So how did it go? This episode is sponsored by the Graphic Guitar Guys. They create eye-catching custom guitar wraps for some of the biggest artists and festivals in the music industry. Their work is perfect for artists and their teams who are looking to add a unique touch to album pre-sale bundles or VIP package items. They also do one-off designs, so if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind gift for a special event, anniversary, birthday party, etc., you can go to thegraphicguitarguys.com. I've worked with Scott myself, and I can personally attest to how easy they make the entire process. Now, back to the show. Once you jumped all the way in.
Well, it was awesome, but it was like kind of like with this 10-year town thing, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm with Doug, and you know, we're writing in the summertime. He's like, hey, you know, we're writing. I'm like, all right, man, you know, so like we got these songs, like when we're gonna like record them and get them out, you know. He's like, oh, well, I mean, it'll be, you know, it's gonna be, you know, 3 or 4 years before anything ever remotely happens.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We just wrote like
we got all awesome these songs.
What are you talking about? We just And he was like, so wrong, because it was more like 10. But yeah, so he did. He took me under his wing. We wrote, we started recording. He went over to Curb Records, signed me immediately over at Curb, had Curb sign me, and started making a record. But we made a record for like 5-6 years.
Wow.
We'd put a few singles out, trying to, see, which one would catch or whatever. And but it was 2010. Jeez. Was it 2010 when Love Like Crazy went number one? So, I mean, you're talking about, it was literally kind of like a 9-10 year thing before the song hit.
Yeah.
But this is a lot of radio touring. This is writing 3 times a day, every day for 3 or 4 or 5 years. This is getting on the road, doing a 11-week, radio tour, 3 radio stations a day, 23 hours a day, all over the country. This is, terrorizing Nashville downtown, like with all of my buddies that now are, we were just talking about the trailer park earlier. I mean, this is all of that.
Yeah.
In, 9 years or so before Love Like Crazy came out. And then after that, it was still a struggle. I mean, but yeah, and that's like overnight. If you think about it, like I came here,
right,
and in one day, I had my producer, I had my record. I mean, basically all of it, just right there. Yeah. Publishing deal, all of it. Just kind of was like, well, I was like, so in other words, when I said earlier, well, that was easy.
Yeah.
10 years later, we have our first sort of hit.
Yeah. Man, it's so crazy. It does. It's what I tell people when they're,
squirrel.
I know. That's what I was talking about. Somebody will be like, oh, my parents' friends or somebody will be like, hey, our son wants to move to Nashville.
Oh,
will you get, will you meet with them or whatever? I'm like, sure, we'll have coffee. And I'm just always telling people, I'm like, look, it's going to take a lot longer than you think it will. So you got to be.
It's not like the whole like, oh, I got a backup plan in case it didn't. Daddy, because Daddy was like, yeah, well, how about this, son? Okay. When I told him I'm leaving Clemson, he's like, okay, well, why don't you give it a year and see, and then after that, now, I'm gonna see, you probably need to come home or whatever if it doesn't work out. And I was like, no, like that's not what's happening. But it's funny you said that. I've never really told this story before, but you talking about like, well, I got a friend of a friend, like, well, can you meet with him and just hear him or talk to whatever? So that summer, when I had moved to town and I was writing with Doug all summer, in that same empty building, Doug said one morning, he goes, hey, I got a friend of mine from Georgia, said his son, he wants his son to come play for me. So I'm going to go ahead and hear, and he's going to come in this morning and play me a few songs, and just so I can, see what's going on with him and give him some advice or see what might happen. And he said, you want to come in the room with me? And I said, I mean, sure, I guess, Yeah. I didn't know anything. And so I went into the room, and this guy walks in, it's my age, and he pulled up in I had my Ford Ranger right there. He had a little S10, Chevy S10. And he comes in and he kind of singing this real country stuff, And I remember he sang like a couple songs, and Doug said, all right, well, listen. He said, man, you're really talented. He said, but I got to tell you, he said, I think you, I'm just, being honest, I think you just probably need to go home back to Georgia and like play your circuit. And like, he said, you could be so successful there and just do that. He said, I just don't know that there's anything in this town for you,
Wow.
And I was like sitting there going, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any, judgment, because I'm just trying my best to even just be there. And that guy walked out, and I walked out with him actually, and that's when I saw his S10. I said, well, I just came here in this. He goes, well, that's just mine. And he said, all right, well, I guess that was that. And the next thing I know, this guy blew up. So we had our first singles came out at the same time.
Yeah.
He had gone and gotten a record deal somewhere else. And our singles came out at the same time, and they were coming up the charts all the way up, and they were at 27 and 26. I was at 27, he was at 26. And about that week, it was like all the like Trace Atkins and like Rascal Flatts and all them kind of came up, and they just kind of grabbed me at 27 and kind of knocked me down, and they missed him by one. And then after that, he got to 25, and then it kind of went up, and he had his first number one on his first single.
Yeah. And
I talked to him after that, obviously, a lot. I mean, he's my neighbor now. But I was like, man, it's like, that day, he goes, I said, I'm sorry that, Doug did just, kind of told you what he told. I felt kind of like weird that day. And he said, no, you kidding me? He said, that gave me all the fire in the world. That's the reason he said, I thank Doug Johnson every time. He said, because he gave me all the energy I needed to go and get it done.
Yeah.
And so it was Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out okay for him.
Now he flies his helicopter over the top of my farm.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had a feeling that's who you were talking about. Oh my God. What a story.
Yeah. I almost forgot it.
Well, you've had all this success as an artist, and I kind of was just, going down memory lane of your career this morning and last night, and I kind of forgot all the success that you've had as a songwriter as well, on other people's songs. So was that always a part of the plan, or was that like sort of runoff from?
That was runoff, I mean, I came here to
be an artist,
to sing. And it was like when I was 10, the only reason I started to play guitar and like learn how to produce my own songs with a little Casio keyboard and write songs was because when I was 10 and I heard, say, George Strait on the radio or Alabama, I was like, I want to do that. And in my little brain, I thought, well, they're obviously singing everything. They're obviously playing the guitar. They're obviously writing all the songs. They're to me, in my brain, they were doing it all.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, but that's just what I assumed as a 10-year-old. So I started doing all of that.
Yeah. And
so when I came to town, obviously I'd written these songs. I was singing them, and Doug, the whole thing. But during that time, that had to pass while I'm writing songs, getting a record done, even though most of the songs, actually, all the songs really that, not all of them, but most of them that I got cut on other artists were songs that I wrote for me, for sure. I mean, I wasn't writing for other people.
Yeah.
I was always writing for me. And honestly, to this day, I still am always writing for me.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's been times where I'm like, well, I can feel a song maybe leaning towards something, and it might end up being like a Chesney song or like a, Tim, and there was times when that happened, but I was always still like holding the bar where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
For me. And I guess, because to me, I mean, I the songs that I heard growing up that were the greatest songs in the entire world was the bar that I set for me. So I was like, well, the bar can't be any higher than like the best songs ever, in my brain, in my little brain. And so it was kind of a runoff, but it was also appreciated. I mean, I look back and, I don't regret, like, Eli Young Band I got a tattoo on my arm of the song of the year as a writer, Crazy Girl, and then Garth Brooks, my biggest hero, musical hero, like came back and like had a song debut at #1, never been done before kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So didn't regret it, but it was really more of a runoff. People have asked that a lot, like, oh, you were a writer before you were, before you were an artist. I was like, no, I was making a record,
Yeah.
And which you see that a lot, with a lot of artists.
Absolutely.
Even now,
Yeah, dude, I was like I said, I was doing my research this morning, and I remember with the Garth Brooks song, because you wrote that with did you write that with Billy?
So I was on my first radio tour.
Okay.
11 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had this whole bus. I was like, wow, I'm on a bus going all over the country But it was like, it
was work.
It was 5 a.m, 6 a.m, and then we'd be in another city for lunch, having lunch and doing, playing for another station. And then supper, we'd play for another station, going another 2 or 3 or 4 hours down the road. And then we'd be out all night with them and then be up the next morning at 5. And that's just over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I remember one morning I was trying to get over this girl for a long, long time, college girl, like the first love of your life kind of thing, And I mean, friends were like, dude, seriously, we've written like 100 songs for this girl. Can we maybe write something else, But I was up in the middle of the night and like out of nowhere, it's like 2 a.m. I started writing her a physical letter. Like, and even then it was like, why are you writing on a piece of paper a letter that you're never going to even send, much less, Yeah. And I was like, she's just a memory, in my own head in the middle of the night. I was like, well, I'm looking at my hand holding a physical pencil and a piece of paper going, well, she's obviously more than a memory because she's physically right here. Your life is, And so I wrote that chorus that night and kind of a little bit of that first verse. And then I went home from that and I went to go see Kyle and Billy and Kyle Jacobs and Billy Montana. And so me and Kyle ascended that melody because I kind of was 969 was just to hang on the phone, right? I did better than it's kind of state. Yeah. So then I kind of wrote this thing ascending after that. And then Billy came in and we all kind of got together and finished the verses. And it was just one of those special songs, but it came from like a really, really real spot that was totally my song.
Yeah.
But when Garth calls you, and you're in the airport, and like he's like, "Hey, Lee," I'm like, "Hello, I'm going through security. It's 5:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
Well, hey, this is Garth. I'm like, Garth who? What? What? What are you talking about? Oh, it's Garth Brooks. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And, so yeah, and he's like, oh, I heard this song and I really love it. But I know you got your career starting and I don't want to impede on that. He said, but if you'll let me record it, I'd love to record it. And I'd also like to put it as a single and I'd like to put it out as my single, like next. And I mean, like tomorrow. And I was like, yeah. What?
And it debuted at number 1.
The most wildest thing in the history of the world.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that year he had there's a thing that you've probably talked about it before, but there's a thing that happens in Nashville every year. It's called CRS, and you know that.
Yeah.
And that year he decided that he was going to do his own. It was during CRS, but he called his GRS, and he had his own country radio seminar.
Yeah,
which is CRS. And he had his own seminar, and he played that song, and he said, "I want us all to be together on this."
Yeah,
and we're gonna break records. So he made it like radio's idea, he said every hour on the hour, every station in the country plays it the very first day.
Yeah.
And it debuted at number 1.
Pretty crazy. When you did that, do you feel like stuff like that like totally helped your career along the way?
What a foot in the door. So now so this is the time when I'm kind of still going around radio touring and promoting my own first singles, single, next single. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge foot in the door, right? I walk into a radio station and I go, oh yeah, I wrote this for Garth. And then I wrote this for, they're like, wait, what? So it's definitely a talking point and they go, well, this isn't just some guy that's got a song out that we don't know where it came from. So they kind of saw that it really used to be a lot more at radio, a lot more. They invested in an artist.
Yeah.
An artist who they can invest, who they're going to want to support in the future because they know they have a feeling they're going to be around a while, not just well, I had a song on TikTok, and so we're going to play it, you know,
Right.
kind of thing. And I mean, I think they're still trying to do some of that. You know, I've talked to some of them, and they are really still trying to do it, but it's a hard line to
I feel like
navigate for them.
It's like getting a little bit better somehow.
It is,
you know, because I think we chased that
for a second,
and all of Nashville was chasing this thing, and it's like I feel like 4 or 5 years later we're like, all right.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why. I mean, and not tooting a horn at all, but like, there's a reason why songs like Hard to. I mean, a lot of my songs are still getting played.
Yeah,
a ton, like a lot on every station.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it, recurrent or whatever, but they still do. And it's because of, you know, walking that line and not just writing or recording the song that's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. You know?
Yeah. They have a lot of depth to them. I mean, they're great songs. They're legendary songs.
Like classic is what I try to do. I try to keep something to where it'll be timeless. Yeah, that's almost jinx.
Yeah. You owe me.
I do owe you.
A sip of Coke.
You beat me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that's the goal. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's like I heard this analogy that I've been using. That's like making. You know, you can make fashion, and fashion is quick. It's like a bottle rocket in the sky, or whatever. It's here today and it's gone tomorrow. Compared with making furniture, you make furniture. You know, you make a great couch. 15 years later, people are still using it.
And I mean, certain types of fashion, though. You know, a white T-shirt and some blue jeans. Yeah. You know, I could still see freaking Brad Pitt or like, you know, James Dean or
no doubt
Anthony DiVincenzo sitting over there, and it's still classic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like it's still fashionable. It never goes. That's the thing that never goes out of style.
Yeah.
You know, but furniture, you know, you can't get rid of it quite as quickly as clothing, can you?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like I think the thing that I liked about the analogy was like, sometimes, you know, you buy a new couch or whatever, you put it in your house, like it's not necessarily celebrated in the moment.
Right.
But there's this thing where 15 years later, it's still there. And I feel like great songs are that way. You turn on the radio, you still hear.
Well, and they almost get better with time. I've got a couch in my house that I did not love when my wife brought it home.
Yeah.
But it's getting more comfortable and broken in with time.
You got some memories.
I'm starting to go, okay, well, and I've taken some pictures. Yeah, like, you know, like, it grows on you, you know, and like gets better with time. And like, you know, speaking of analogies, it's like I was talking about my new song that's coming out, you know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, you know, obviously how it applies to my life, but I was just thinking, well, when it came from you, how did it apply to your life? Where did it come from?
Oh,
I want to hear.
That's a good question.
I want to hear about Killed the Man.
All right. Well, I was going to gently lead us there.
Well,
but you, here we are. Yeah. Thanks for,
brother. Thank you.
Thanks.
No, thank you. I mean, what a song.
Thanks, man.
And like a life changer for me. I don't cut many outside songs, and it's not because I don't want to. I mean, my biggest songs in my life are outside songs. I wish I could write every single one of my songs.
Yeah.
But when I hear And I Drive Your Truck, or Drinking Class, or Killed the Man, it's, you know, it's like, I mean, duh. I mean, and there's been a lot of hit songs, many hit songs that I've heard that just weren't me, or they weren't.
Yeah, they didn't feel like you.
They didn't feel like me, or they didn't apply, or they didn't fit that right, whatever it was. And it sucks to have to like say, man, I've already had a, you know, like it's like buy dirt.
Yeah.
You know, or stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or Dirt Cheap. Mm-hmm. I've been pitched all those songs, and I was like, well, I've kind of already had And I Drive Your Truck, you know what I mean? And I can only play so many of those songs in my set, you know?
Right.
And so I love to write my songs, but I love to find them.
Yeah.
But because I think a lot of people don't go looking for them in my position. And I think they should. I think they're silly to not.
Yeah, you're missing out.
You're missing out on the best songs in the world all over this town. You listen to enough of them, you run across, what you wrote.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's so kind of you to say. Like I said, I'm very honored that you cut it. You asked me what was going through my head that day?
Well, it's kind of like I know why the song connected with me, right?
Yeah.
Killed the Man. We just shot a video on it, and it's like this whole rebirth, right?
Yeah.
Of a man like who I used to be, and it's just drawn out perfectly in the song. You wrote it to the wall.
Oh, thanks.
And I was just curious, I know where I was in my life, and I'm just curious where you were, and maybe if it was your idea, was it like a thing y'all just kind of got in on and just ran across, or just what was the day like?
So I had that title, and I had thought about it because, you get older, your life starts to change, and I think about how the things that I was interested in and doing when I was 20
or different
or 25, they start to change.
They're different. They do.
And, I'm in the phase of life where I'm thinking about / trying to start a family, and I get kind of freaked out. And I remember right before I got married.
Yeah, even just the marriage part is this song. Much less the kids and all the other things that kind of happen.
I was really afraid to get married because I just was afraid of that it would change me. That I would have to give up the things that
have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
you realize it ain't have to. You kind of want to.
You get to.
You get to.
And you get to evolve.
Yeah.
And that was sort of where I was coming from with this song. It's just it's like you meet the right person, and your life changes. And I think that is like such a gift to get to evolve.
Yeah, we probably would be dead at some point if it wouldn't have been for my wife. I can tell you that. But so what was that day like? Did you brought the idea in? Maybe y'all talked about it, y'all?
Yeah, we kicked it around. It was pretty quick. I remember it wasn't like a super grindy thing. I remember talking with me and Whitworth, who's another writer of the song. We're talking about it. We had all the words written, and I knew what the melody was because I love that nursery rhyme.
Speaking of that melody, just like More Than a Memory, that kind of ascending thing, except starting. Remember I told you I just had to run down 6 now for the chorus. It was lower than the verses.
Yeah.
And so then eventually worked it into ascending that melody all the way up.
Yeah.
And when I heard Killed the Man for the first time and it went down for that chorus, kill the man, I'm going, whoop. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. It really reminded me of More Than Memory a little bit. And that's where I was just so drawn to it so quickly.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, this is I'm having an out of body experience. I'm used to asking other people about their songs, when we cut the demo, they were like, what's the melody? I was like, just give me the mic.
Just give it to me.
I know exactly what it is. And I sat there, I held one of these SM7s.
SM7.
And we sang it.
Yeah, man. That is it's so, I can't wait for people to really hear it because it is so unique, that melody, because, everybody, it's always a natural thing to kind of bust into a chorus, right? And go up from where you were, energy-wise, melody-wise. And this has so much patience. It's like watching an old man swing a golf club and beat you to death beat you like a drum, because he's just putting it, just chipping it on down the fairway, and it's this melody starts down here, and it's really, and it's just patient. It's a patient melody, and it's
One of my favorite parts of the song too is the bridge. How it, I don't know, I can't remember what chord that is. It goes to like the 5.
Yeah, it's
like a nice release.
It hangs, yeah. And then which one that you haven't actually really visited a lot in the song. Yeah. But it's a normal. It's like a 5, like you said. Like it just stays.
Yeah. That's how did you like, I'm always curious, like, how do these things happen? How did it get to you? Somebody play it for you?
Every day, every single day I get well, because I welcome it. Songwriters, publishers, whoever, managers, like anybody in town, I'm always welcoming. I'm like, hey man, here's my email, or if you got a song, send it. Like, hey, can I ever send you a song? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, send me songs. Now, do I get to listen to all of them? If I'm being really honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I try, but it's like,
I'm sure you get a lot.
I get a lot, but even if it's just like a couple per day, with the kids and the wife and my own music, I'm already like working stuff that I already have to do right now. Like say, I'm working on Kill the Man right now. Like I'm getting it out, and so it's hard for me to turn my brain off to go listen to new music whenever I already got just turning a whole new record. It's already done,
Yeah.
But like I said, I always listen. I try to listen as much as I can. And so I think it was Sierra over at the label. I think she sent it to me. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, because she's like, I know this is a little different, but like, just something about it I really love. And I heard it and I texted her back. I said, yeah. I said, and I will say, like, that chorus when it hit, it was just so interesting, and different and like unique, which is a big thing for me. I want to be unique, right? I don't want to be the same song on the radio that everybody else is, and I've always been that way. Yeah. But I also don't want to be like different to the fact where, it's like detrimental. I want it to be classic. It's like such a fine line I've been walking for so many years.
Totally.
And this song, when I heard it, I just kind of felt that perfect walking that fine line between something that can be classic, be around for a long time, but also being unique. I say different, but more like unique. And it just caught, I said, yep, you're right. There's something very special about this song, obviously. And that's just that part, much less the hook itself.
Yeah.
And where I'm at in my life and that whole deal,
Yeah. So the hook, like, that felt like very true to what's going on
as soon as that hook in, I was like, well, okay. Because I already liked it before it got to the hook. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's been a lot of times, many, many times where I'm like, oh my God, this song is really great. And then I get to the hook and it's like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And I want to call them and go, well, can we
change the hook?
You want to, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but like your whole song is great, but your hook really is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's not going to go. Nothing's going to happen unless, because I could be wrong. Somebody might cut it.
That's such a tricky part. In order to, we've done like 100 of these episodes. We talk about this all the time. It's like, it's so hard. You write a song just to get the song done requires this. And then the hook has to be right. The melody has to be right for it to get cut.
And every word of it has to be communicated right.
Yeah.
Unless it's just, like a really hooky melody and it can get you past certain.
Yeah. But still got to make sense.
It's still got to make sense in your brain.
Yeah.
But, some people, though, they'll tell me. I remember the first time I walked in a publisher and they were like, well, I don't ever listen to the words until I listen to the song, like to listen to the melody about 4 times. I'm like, you don't listen to the words?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was my publisher at the time. And I was like, wait, I just played you More Than a Memory, and you're telling me that you don't listen to the words?
Yeah.
No. I'm like, okay, so maybe we'll find another publisher. But anyway, but it is true, though. A lot of people, they just listen to the song. They just listen to what they're hearing, and they might not be paying attention
to
every word. And so that's why it was so cool melodically, kind of like you liked it already before you even got to the hook.
Yeah.
On Kill the Man. And then when you got to the hook, you're like, oh, and it didn't let me down. And, it's like, let's go.
Yeah. I love that. Well, dude, it means a lot. I mean, you have so many, like, I feel like so many of your songs have like very iconic melodies. God, Memory I Don't Mess With, man.
I love that song.
The melodies are unbelievable.
Worked so hard, like on the bus, like when that guitar riff.
Yeah.
Like how to finger it exactly right.
Yeah.
But I knew how to do it, but I was having to reteach myself how to figure it out in the moment. And I still pick on both of my co-writers on that because they still don't get it quite right. Because I spent like 4 hours at 4 o'clock in the morning, like
getting it,
making sure I had that thing. So now I can do it like with my eyes closed, And it's not that like intricate, but it is particular.
Yeah.
And so they kind of do like a version of it. I'm like, it's not right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, what I got a couple more questions for you. What is it that, you've been doing this and you've had all this success, but like you continue to have success. And so because a lot of people, they pop a few up there and then you never hear from them again. What keeps you inspired?
I just haven't done what I want to do yet.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I still want to sell out a stadium.
Yeah.
On my own.
Yeah.
I've compared to other artists, we've had as big or bigger hits than a lot of people who have sold out stadiums.
Yeah.
But we've had so much struggle at radio and this and that over the years, and we just had to work.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd rather be working at this than digging ditches, and I've dug plenty of ditches,
Yeah.
But I think that's what keeps me going is I still haven't, well, two things, I still haven't necessarily done what I set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
But also, even if I never get there, I still just love making music. I still love writing songs. I still love producing music. I'm producing stuff on other people. Like I'm constantly, and as much as sometimes my ears will get burned out, I don't want to hear another song, especially my own. Like if I've been working on it for a year,
of course, yeah.
I still love it, So
I love that.
I ain't quite got to where I want to be yet, and I still love it,
Yeah.
To answer that question.
Yeah, it's like the pursuit of the goal like brings its own reward.
Yeah,
the working on it, and then last thing I like to ask before, and then I'll let you get out of here is if you could like go back to younger you, just get started, and like send down a little piece of advice. Is there anything you'd say?
Well, advice, yes, I would definitely say drink less, sleep more.
Yeah,
definitely would
pretty good advice.
That. And I think it's great advice. I think it's amazing advice. Although I don't want to say that I would take back anything because there's a lot of memories and a lot of, memories that I don't have, but I know that they're there.
Yeah.
In great times and building relationships. But yeah, I would say, because boy, we went hard.
Yeah.
And that's not like necessarily an example I want to set for my kids now that my boy's like turning 17,
Yeah.
Of course, their age this time, they're all like going, none of us want to drink or do anything. I'm like, yes, good for you. They're all like boycotting like everything.
Yeah. They're getting good sleep.
Yeah. But that's probably, I would say, it probably stole some stuff from me, but I know that, but I also wrote More Than a Memory on 2 hours of sleep, and Crazy Girl on an hour of sleep. But I'll tell you this, if I went out all night long with my buddies and I had to write at 9 o'clock the next morning and I was up till 8, the one thing I didn't do that I've seen a lot of people doing lately is like just cancel because they were tired or like call last minute and be like, I'm sick. I didn't do that. I was always there.
Yeah,
I might have been still still rocking from the morning just an hour before, but I was there, and so no matter what you do,
show up.
If you're gonna show up, you gotta show up. You gotta show up.
I love that. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you for cutting my song, man.
Oh, man. I'm so excited about it. I mean, daggum. When is it coming out? October 31st. So can we say that?
October 31st?
Halloween, which Anthony, by the way, my wife is a little upset that you booked me to be out of town on Halloween. It's like our one day we really, really talk about me being home. But I'll be on the road. But it's coming out on October 31st, and I'm so excited, man.
Dude, I'm pumped. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And that's it. That's the pod. See you later.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of 10 Year Town. If you want to follow along with the show, make sure you follow us on Instagram at 10 Year Town Pod. And you can find me, your host. I'm at Troy Cartwright. Or send me an email, troy@10yeartown.com. We'll see you next week. Thanks.